Okay, so moving on, Anthony 13245768890. Oh, that's not your phone number or something, but he asks, do you prefer thick women, average women, or skinny women? Ooh. Well, to be honest, I don't have a preference, but if I had to pick one, I would say curvy women. Pervy Sage. Ooh. No, I don't have a preference, to be honest, but yeah, interesting question to ask. Incitos, 98, Incitos. Vegeta's strength, you mean HalusaTwin's strength. Thank you very much. Question, if you could make any plot for a new DBS arc, what would said arc be? Well, I think it'd have to outdo the last arc, and the arc before that. And as we've been moving now from general villains and tyrants to literally gods, I suppose the last arc, it probably would be the last arc, but the next arc would have to be the battle against the angels and the Daishinkan, I suppose, because that's the only thing that's left. Nobody knows what's happening in there, whether he's a bad guy or a good guy or whatever his intentions are, but it looks like the whole multiverse is in danger of erasure. I think that's not even a real word. Destruction by him and the two Xenos, Xenos. So yeah, I mean that would have to be the last. That would have to be the last arc. That would have to be the next arc, because I don't think there'd be any other arc that would top it. I mean, you'd have, hopefully, you could have the fighters from Universe 6, as well as maybe some of the fighters from other universes all joined together, like Universe 10, to fight them off, basically, because it looks like the angels aren't. When their universe is destroyed, they said that the angels become not void, but they don't have a use. They cease to function or something like that. But it looks as though when Universe 9 was destroyed, that the angel there was still able to do whatever he wanted to do. So maybe he's building himself a little army, like Opie Senpai said, and maybe he's gonna try and mutiny, if you like, the two Xenos, or maybe he's the one that's in charge anyway, but he just doesn't have the power. He's like the nanny of the Xenos, so he basically is their voice of reason, and yeah, maybe, who knows. So yeah, that's what I would say. Kathy Pryor. Hi, how you doing? 3 questions. Where did you get your idea for your original character? Will there be any possible collaborations in the future? Scott Morgan or Enoki TNG? Where did HalusaTwin come from? Okay, first question, or first answer rather. My original character, as you can tell, is basically Trunks with a different colour palette, and a scar on his cheek. I don't have a scar on his cheek, but a scar on his cheek. Tony Stark or Doctor Strange, and red hair, which I had red hair when I started the DBS album. If you guys remember when I first did my first live stream with you, and I have a yellow jacket, and I have a red scout on the way as well. Funnily enough, when that comes, I'll do an unboxing just for laughs. So yeah, basically, because he was my favourite character in Dragon Ball Z, I wanted my character to be kind of similar to that, except I don't have a sword, I have a toughened gun. You know what a gun is, but you know what I mean. The guns that they have in the flashback when they're fighting the Saiyans. Yeah, because my character, if he had a backstory, which I haven't thought about that thoroughly, but he would be a bounty hunter that left Planet Plant, or was already on a mission somewhere, and found out what happened to his entire race, and what the Saiyans did, what Frieza's army did, and decided to go on a rampage with the remaining androids and droids that he had, and hunt them all down, basically. And, yeah. But he's not actually a bad guy, because Tuffles in GT were depicted as being bad guys. They weren't bad guys, they just want revenge. The Saiyans were bad guys, really. They're just not bad guys now. So, yeah. Sorry, what was the second question? Oh, well, actually, currently there's a collaboration between me and Scott Morgan anyway. We've written the music, he's done the guitaring, I might be playing it in the background so you can probably hear a little bit here, especially the guitar in. So epic, it's so good. I'm just waiting for a video from him. As soon as that comes, it's going straight up and you guys can get to enjoy it. Enigma TNG, the guy's still not answering me, so I doubt there will be any kind of collaboration between us two, unless of course I just continue stealing his tracks and putting my music over the top of it, which, you know, I feel bad for, because I'd rather just make a tune with the guy, but, you know, I'm such a fan of his music that I'd like to just put my bit in there. But an official collaboration, probably not. I'd like to work with 94 Stones as well, actually, because I think he's really good at his stuff. I've worked with Margin Blue, of course, and I've worked with Hansel Ultimate. You know, anyone else that wants to, I might even work with Aurak, because I think Aurak wants to do a collaboration as well. So, and there will be another Margin Blue collaboration coming soon. I'm going to write a track for him, and he's going to put music on and send it back to me. So yeah, keep your eye out for that one. Geetha Madhuri. DBC is life and Goku is true hero and my true hero forever and Vegeta is best. Yes, I understand this is kind of like a pasted, like, copied comment, because you say the same thing every single time, you just change the end bit. But I respect your opinion. DBC is good and maybe it is right. But this is DBS, this track, so that's a bit wrong there anyway, so never mind. But thanks for the support. Puz the Hero, I think that's how you say that. What software did you use when making DBZ Volume 1 and Volume 2? Whether the same software you're currently using, or are they different? Are they all different? Now actually, they are all different in a way. The first DBZ album I made using this program. 2002. That's why the sound in that in those tracks is a little bit distorted, because the sampling in that isn't very high quality. In Volume 2, I used Reason 4.0. 4.0. Yeah. So now I'm using 5.0. It's the same program initially, but it's an upgraded version. So that's why the stuff that I'm using now is a bit better quality than the stuff I made back then. Plus, I didn't really know how to use the program, so yeah. Volumes and all that would just escape me. Okay, Zenkai Zenpai. What goal do you have with your music, and how do you apply your musical talents outside of YouTube? Your job has to be related to music industry somehow. You're too good for it. Thank you very much, dude. But funnily enough, my outside job isn't anything to do with music. Funnily enough, I'm a photo tech or a photo assistant. I work in a retail store producing people's photos. You know, you bring a camera, I unravel it, and then put it through the processor, print out the prints, or I do the digital prints, posters, canvases, all sorts. So yeah, I actually don't do anything to do with music with my real job, but I would like to. I have done some work with people before, free work of course. I've never been paid for anything except for some tracks that I did for Cycles, who's another YouTuber, he's a reviewer, good reviewer as well, got a lot of knowledge, where I sometimes do commissions, where people ask me for tracks and then they, you know, pay me a small amount because I don't overcharge people anyway. But no, aside from that, I don't do anything to do with music work-wise. I just do music for fun. It is my enjoyment, really. And my goals, well, I'd like to make, because I make soundtracks, I don't make I don't make commercial music, so I make, like, you know, soundtracks and things like that for, like, games, anime, cartoons, TV shows, movies, you name it. Those sort of things, that's the sort of thing that I would like to get into initially. I think I've got a long way to go to work on, like, you know, getting my music sounding top notch, but I think I've got the ideas there and maybe some of the sounds, and I'd just like to get that way. I mean, you know, if my channel does get discovered by someone and someone snaps me up, then awesome. Otherwise, I'll just continue to make music anyway because it's something I love doing. Forever in the past. Huge fan of yours, brother. I definitely believe that you and Enigma TNG are the best when it comes to music producers in the Dragon Ball realm. Oh, and I love this track, lol. I have 2 questions for you. First off, did you contact Funimation about you and Enigma having your music featured on the Blu-rays as options for us to switch to? You know, that would be a really good idea, but I don't think Funimation would go for it, simply because it's a lot more work for them. It's not necessarily, even if we gave our music to them for free, they'd still have to edit the music in, and it's just like extra money on top of them having to spend that to edit it in, basically, so I don't think they'll bother with that. It would be nice, though, although what you guys can do, if it's even possible, is that you could take, like, you know, the episodes yourself and put our music in wherever you want them. So you could make your own AMV type style things with, like, if you can get the show without the background music, then yeah, you could do that. That would be fine. I'd like to see that, actually, because I tried doing it, and well, it didn't come out very well when I did it. Seriously, you are that talented, and your music carries that Falcona, can't even speak, and Ko's spirit, but with your own style, and I love it. Second question. Are you expecting big things from the Universe 6 Namekians? Thank you, I hope you have a great day. Keep doing what you love, brother, and I wish you a ton of success. Yes, thank you. I do, actually. The Universe 6 Namekians have got to do something good, because, I mean, they wouldn't reveal them if at the very last minute if they weren't going to do something epic. I mean, if you think about it, we've only had Piccolo and Dende throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball Super, because they've mentioned the other Namekians, but we haven't seen them. So it'd be nice to see another 2 Namekians, especially from Universe 6, as that's the mirror universe. That might mean that the Namekians will probably be bad guys, as me and SSJ4 guy discussed the other day on his channel. So yeah, that would be good. I mean, we might even see another fusion. That would be awesome. I mean, it would be awesome. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Just the battle, it would be quite good, especially if, like, Piccolo fights them. You know. Because I don't think I've ever seen two Namekians fighting each other. That would be quite good, actually. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Oh no, actually it was in a non-canon movie. It was Lord Slug, wasn't it? When Piccolo and that were fighting Lord Slug, and Piccolo pulled his ears off so that he couldn't hear Gohan's whistling or something. Anyway, Dark 100 hang on. Dark 10,000? Is that your name? Excellent. Oh, right, sorry, you didn't have a question, you just had a comment. Thank you very much, dude, that's quite kind of you. Rizardo. HalusaTwin, could you make a song for Vegeta versus Vibrian? Well, I was thinking about doing that anyway, but that isn't a question, that's a request. I mean, it is a question, but it's not, it's out of borderlines again. So, I will keep it in mind, okay, thanks. It's only Mark. Hello, Mark. How much time does it need you to make one track? How much time do I need to make one track, basically? Limitless. I can make a track in an hour if I rush it, or if I'm really on the ball. A couple of hours if I'm thinking about it and I'm trying hard. 3 hours if I've really got something, and longer if I'm completely stuck, basically. So yeah, there's no time. Rubber Soul, how old are you? How young were you when you first watched Dragon Ball? Who is your favourite hero villain? I want to say I'm 26, but I'm 37, so sorry. How young was I? Well, I think I was about 12 or 13. I said that earlier, but I think I was about 12 or 13 when I first watched Dragon Ball. When it first came out in 92 or 93. I mean, I could be completely wrong then, I was probably 15, but I'm pretty sure it was about that time, but it's been a long time ago since I watched it, so, and who is your favourite hero villain? Well, my favourite hero from Dragon Ball Z is Future Trunks, the good one, and obviously from DBS is Vegeta, and my favourite villain from both is Frieza. Yes. Frieza, Golden Frieza, Normal Frieza, First Form Frieza, Second Form Frieza, Third Form, all of them. I love Frieza. Frieza is probably, because he's not like any of the other villains. The other villains were just there to kill Goku. That was it. That was their main objective. They came in, I want to kill Goku. That's it. That's all I wanted to do, just kill Goku and take over the world, or whatever, or destroy the world. Whereas, Frieza was a proper villain. He was he had his empire. He was a tyrant, you know, he actually had people under him. He had people under control and stuff like that. When people said his name, you know, people trembled and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, he was the best. He's probably got the most impact as a villain anyway. I mean, and plus because they brought him back as the Universe 10 fighter, which is a bit shifty, but makes a lot of sense, because I mean, like, you know, he's the only one that can adapt, really. to becoming a decent fighter. He's not got one goal in mind, you know what I mean? He has got one goal in mind. His goal in mind at the moment is just to kill Goku for revenge, but initially, he didn't even know who Goku was, didn't care. He just wanted to destroy and control the universe, basically. So, yeah, kudos. Star Blast Studios. What program do you use in order to create your songs, and how do you create them so fast? Do you have already pre-made tracks prepared to use when it would fit a character? I actually don't. No, basically, I do actually make these tracks straight from scratch. I do have preset instruments. What I do is I design an instrument the way I want it to sound, and then I save it as that particular style. And then what I do is I open the program up and then just load those instruments in. That way I've got something to start with. And then basically, you know, create the beats around it. I first off start doing like either the main lead or the bass line or the guitar in, if I've got guitar in it, which most of the time I do. And then I just build around it basically. But yeah, it doesn't take long at all. And well, that's not what you asked actually. You just what? How do I make them so fast? Yeah, it's just that I've created presets for myself basically, but no preset themes and no tracks that are already made. As soon as I make a track, it goes up. Basically, I can't hold on to it for too long. I have to get it up there. And sometimes I'm up until 4 in the morning doing it. Mama's gonna knock you out. Right. I'll watch out for that. Why don't you have more subscribers? You deserve much more. I love the subscribers I've got. I mean, I'd love it if more people could listen to my stuff, but I get the views. I just don't have the subscribers, and I think the reason being is because it's a music channel predominantly. People come listen to the music and then they go. They don't necessarily, you know, subscribe. They just see like see it in featured links or something, or recommended or whatever section on the side, and then click on it, have a listen. Oh, yeah, this is alright. Yeah. Leave a little comment and then go. Some people subscribe, but most people they don't bother. So I could potentially have more than like 10,000 subscribers already. It's just that most of these 10,000 people that watch these videos don't subscribe. So and I think the other thing is advertising. I don't advertise that much. It's mainly just word of mouth from you guys really, and whatever I can tell people. Should Kale be compared to Broly, and is she overpowered compared to well, she's definitely compared to Broly, because I mean that's apparent. I mean, if you've ever seen any of the Broly movies, then you know that whenever she's become the Super Saiyan Berserk form, that they've paid almost identical homage to each of those movies. The first time she does it is so reminiscent of the first movie, and the second time she does it, when she's standing on top of that big pile of rocks and she fires out all those ki blasts, reminiscent of Broly Returns or Broly 2 or whatever it's called. So yeah, definitely. And is she overpowered? I don't think so. Obviously she's powerful, but I don't think she's overpowered. If you're referring to the time when Goku did a Kamehameha wave on her in SSJ Blue and she just tanked it and then grabbed him and slammed him, he wouldn't have been using his full-powered Kamehameha wave because he doesn't want to kill anyone. So he would have been using a weaker version of it. I mean, he didn't even have to go Super Saiyan Blue, really. Could have stayed in regular Super Saiyan form, probably. You know, Namek Saiyan, and just done that same Kamehameha wave, and it wouldn't have made no difference. Probably what he should have done was just, you know, brute strength and used the instant transmission technique on her. That would have probably worked. Which is another really weird... well, no, actually, he's not trying to eliminate people, he's trying to test people's power. Anyway, I'm stemming off. Let's go back on. Younger Toguro. How did you go about learning sound design? What was your process? I'm a inspired producer, and I'm trying to be the best that I can be. Well, like I said, I started learning about music when I was about 12 at school, learning different instruments, learning how you can manipulate sounds from each thing. And I used to read sheet music. I can still read it a little bit, but not very well, because I went straight onto tabs, and that's so much easier, especially with guitar. And what was your process? Yeah, basically just going through different programs and learning different things as I went along. Getting different sounds from places, listening to different music, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the process. And yeah, I mean, if you want to go down that same route, I would suggest maybe trying something like Fruity Loops or something like that, listening to a lot of like pre-made samples and stuff, and just getting ideas from that. And listen to as much music as you possibly can. Anything that clicks with you, just store it in your mind, and then like you've got more ideas for later, basically. John Lesno. John Lesno. Is that supposed to be just John Lesnar? John Lesnar. Oh, I don't know. Can your next one be Frieza versus Jiren? Oh, dude, you've been putting this same comment on all of my videos. Look, I will probably make that track, right? But please, you're gonna have to stop asking me every single album, every single track that I make, because it's becoming a demand now, and I don't respond to demands. If people start demanding things from me, I will just ignore it. And I'm not being horrible or anything like that. I respect when when people want something, that's fine, and I do try and get round to everyone. But I haven't forgotten it. I've got every request that everyone's ever asked me, I've got written down in a list. Yeah, and I'm trying to get through them all, and there's a lot in that list. So please, it's fine. I will probably make that track at some point, but you've just got to be patient. Okay, anyway, I think that's everything. That's the whole thing, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I got through that. Well, I'm sorry if this video was a really big long. Really big long. I'm sorry if this. Get my fucking teeth right now. I'm sorry if this video was long, but there was a fair few questions that were not so easy to answer. Well, I say weren't easy to answer. I had a long explanation for them. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the music in the background as well. And I hope you stay tuned for the next installment of music reviews, theories, and all sorts of rubbish that I'm going to pump down your eyeballs. So without dragging it on too much, I will bid adieu, and I will then. Where am I? Hang on. I will say thank you for all your questions, and I'll see you all very soon. Take it easy, yeah? Peace. And Subarashii.